Ooh, we have the good model that we got to before the stream started acting all funky and weird. It is a Dark Angel of Doom. It's a good chaplain model. A very, very good chaplain model. I'm very happy for. Very, very happy for. Take the. Oh, I'm missing stuff. Warhammer 40,000. Keep your secrets. Ooh.
Amazing.
This is a good chaplain model. I do feel like the Terminator in chaplain armor. Sorry, the chaplain in Terminator armor. I got that all mixed up. I feel like they boned that one. I don't know what they did with that, but it's not cool looking. This guy's really cool looking. Uh, he's got some really cool things. We'll get into that. But the people over on YouTube, my name is Dreadbread. This is the World's Championship preview. We just got done with the Necron, some of the Necron stuff. Now we're going into Dark Angels territory. Let's go.
How many weapons does that guy have?
He certainly comes very well armed. This is Asmodai, the original
Asmodai.
interrogator chaplain of the Dark Angels, one of the most recognizable
Rock
characters
me,
in Warhammer 40,000,
Asmodai.
and getting a brand new plastic miniature. This is the master of.
So this is really cool. I do like this model. I like how he's got the sword going through that dude's head right there. I do like the helmet right there. That's cool. This is the version that I really, really like. He's got the Death Sider skull right there. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. He's got his Crozius that he's gonna smash people with. He's got. If you're wondering what that smoke is, you'll get to that in a minute. But I really, really, really like this model. I know people are probably gonna get this model and kit bash it to be probably a Black Templar because I've been seeing lots of that floating around on Twitter.
Of repentance, one of the most recognizable chaplains in Warhammer 40,000. I don't know about you, but chaplains for me kind of encapsulate some of the absolute gothic horror of Warhammer 40,000, and
Need more of
particularly
it.
the Dark Angels, the kind of brooding, imposing.
I do not like this version of the helmet. I don't know why it looks silly. It just I don't know what it is. It looks very, very silly. I don't like the. I know it's supposed to be painted like a skull, but I don't like the little big nose thing there. That's what it reminds me of. I do love the different backpack options. I like how you can have the smoke just kind of filtering out through this. I do like these ones as well. I think that's very, very cool. I overall do like this model. I like how he's got a pistol and then he's got whatever the heck this is. It's like a club with a bolter attached to it, so he can smack somebody and like shoot them. Do like it. I don't know what this thing serves as. You know, he's got more little rosaries of doom, things of that nature.
Figure of Asmodai.
They can awaken the spirit of the Marines around him, and this is captured all magnificently on this model. Look at this: the robes, the cloaks, the skulls, the implements of destruction, and revealing secrets.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really cool things to call out on this model because we've got some nice angles of the front and back of it there. So you've got a hooded head option if you want, which is the kind of classic Asmodai that you guys will recognize from the current miniature, but also the classic miniature and some of the classic artwork we've seen. But we've never seen what's underneath that hood before, and now we can find out. It turns out it's a skull helmet. Who'd have known, right? So it's a chaplain. You've got some very, very imposing weaponry there, an enormous great Calibanite greatsword, Crozius Arcanum, of course, with the kind of winged angel. On his back, he's got his pistol. He's also got some implements of torture in case he manages to get hold of a fallen or even one of the enemies that might know their location.
Yeah, that's a fallen helmet right there that he's just stabbed through.
There, you can either have kind of drifting smoke and essence, or if you want to paint it up really nicely, or if you maybe don't really fancy painting lots of smoke effects because it's it's not your jam. You can absolutely just have a plain backpack and not have that essence.
I love the options, especially if you're into kit bashing your other Marine forces.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
kind of stuff.
the other obviously whichever one you pick, the other one is going to be available for you to use. This is the kind of classic one, I suppose. The other thing to call out there, if you're a
he's
Fallen
on his
Angels
tactical
fan
rock
like
too.
me, the plastic Fallen Angel on the base there. This is which is pretty cool.
There's one for you.
There's one. Here you go. It's in some kind of looks like Crusade pattern armor there to me, with I think a sword through his head. So he's maybe not having the best day.
No, he'll be
still
fine.
nice to see them represented.
This just
needs
screams
some,
Dark Angels. This is the
it's
art.
so-
Surgeon migraine
Oh,
medicine.
it's so goth. I love the ludicrously oversized sword. Absolutely ridiculous. Like Space Marines have very over-the-top weaponry, but even by Space Marine standards, that sword is a statement piece.
Nothing is too big for 40K.
There you go. Yeah, if it's over the, there's no such thing as over the top. But speaking of
40K
enormous great
is the
weapons,
Texas of
we have
space.
another unit to show you today for the Dark Angels, which is the Deathwing Knight.
So this is where, if you were here for my last stream, this is where stuff kind of got rough because the stream on Twitch's side, not to my side, didn't want to play. I'm gonna remake this statement again. I see a lot of potential for people taking these heads and the weapons and like just kit bashing the shields and stuff and making these guys into Grey Knights, because they do have a very, very cool heads. I do like the heads. I think these are better looking Terminators than the ones that we got originally. Um, they just look really clean. They look really cool, and I'm just kind of, after going back and seeing these guys and seeing the other ones that we got, I'm just kind of disappointed with the just kind of the standard ones that we got from Leviathan, especially the Terminator and the Chaplain Terminator. I mean, we just saw that other guy and how cool he was, and then if you take him and you compare him to the Terminator and Chaplain armor, it just, they dropped the ball on that so hard, so hard. Anyway, let's get into it.
This is a new Terminator unit, the specialized elite of the Dark Angels Inner Circle.
I got to see these. You know, they are amazing. Look at that. Just brutish, just intimidating, coming across the battlefield. Who does not love the impending march of Terminators?
I mean, Terminators are innately cool, right? This has been a great year for Terminator fans. We've had a brand new unit in the Leviathan box set at the launch of the new edition of Warhammer 40,000. We've then had the multi-part kit, adding some options. You've had new Terminator chaplains, new Terminator librarians, new Terminator captains, and now we're starting to see some of the specialized Terminators of the chapters come forth. And the first amongst them is, of course, the Terminator masters of Warhammer 40,000, the Deathwing, which are perhaps even amongst the Space Marines, the most renowned Terminators in the galaxy.
We've got some comments in the chat said it's not a want, it's a mighty need that's happening.
Yeah.
And there's also some questions we might be able to answer here in a second.
Yeah, there's some options in this kit which is worth calling out. So
you might, there's quite a bit of options.
Deathwing Knights at the moment obviously have their maces. There is a build in this kit with enormous, great Caliber Knight swords, and for me as well, like obviously. The Dark Angels are synonymous with swords. The actual symbol of the chapter itself is that broken sword representing all sorts of stuff in the kind of mythology of the Dark Angels. Even the symbol of the Dark Angels and the Deathwing themselves hint at the secrets within the chapter. The broken sword representing literally the broken sword of the lion, but also the breaking of the Legion and the kind of fight against treachery sort of thing on the shields themselves. So swords and Caliber Knight swords particularly hark back to the very origins of the Legion and the kind of the Knights of Caliban sort of thing.
It's hard to have read that story way back in the day and not become a fan of it.
They just super like swords, I guess is what I'm getting at. They really like swords.
Swords.
But they also like enormous great maces, and you can also build this unit as a mace-wielding Deathwing Knight unit, much like the current kit in this, like the current smaller Terminators. So if you've still got some of those old Terminators, you can still use them. They've still got the same weapon builds and stuff, but you probably want to upgrade them to the...
All right, so something's going on. I just realized, hold on, maybe I just have to refresh it. Maybe everything will be okay on my side. Looks like the screen capture got lowered. Why is my screen captured? It's weird. There's a big stuff happened there. But I will say this. I don't like the half-faced helmets. This one's all right because you can't really see that his face, but I don't like the half-faced helmet things. I'm always going to bring that up when they bring that up. And then these maces are weird. They look like battery parts or maybe like spark plugs to something. I don't know. I don't know if it's how they're painted, how they're done. I don't care for these. They just look weird. They just look weird to me. And you always get a little Jawa guy with these guys too. I really don't know what's going on. But everything everything on my phone side is alright, but when I'm over here actually on Twitch's side, maybe it's because how I have this cropped, I don't know. It just It got weird. Anyway, let's go.
these new ones because they're just so cool and imposing.
I'm looking at these. I'm seeing different helmets. I'm seeing different weapon options. I'm seeing lots of hobby time
Yeah,
waiting, calling me.
So some stuff we can call out is that you absolutely have enough stuff in this kit to build them all with swords. You have enough in this kit to build them
That
all
is
with
nice.
maces if you want to. You also have
That is good. I didn't get to that part last time because the stream kept juddering and stopping, but that is very good that you have enough pieces to do all swords if you want to, or all maces. Because I don't like kits that give you like enough, maybe like 3 swords or 2 swords, and then like 4 maces or 1 sword and 5 maces. I don't like that. If I want my guys to look uniformed, I want them all to have the same weapons, or at least make the leader have a different weapon and everybody else have swords or maces or stuff like that. So I do like that. Not that I like the maces, but just weapon variety. Weapon variety of doom.
have enough in this kit to build them all with helmeted heads, or you can build them all with hooded heads. So you've got loads of different options, and you can either lean fully into one of those and go all hooded, or you can go, I want some of them with helmets and some of them with hoods, or you can build them in different ways. Which is cool because one of the kind of archetype ways, I suppose, of Angel's army is to really lean into the wings, basically. All bikes or all Terminators or all, and if you go all Terminators, which is it's a very cool way of doing an army, right? You definitely want some more than
back.
Terminators are absolutely back this edition. Like certainly, there's a little bit. The shine came off them a little bit. There's other things that have come out recently, but Terminators kind of very much strode back into both kind of miniature-wise, some of the miniatures come out this year, but also into the kind of the meta play of Warhammer 40,000. Terminators definitely have their niche in armies.
I just want to hang out with this Watcher in the dark.
He's a cool Watcher. Look at him. I think
he's a little guy, little Java
you
man.
called out earlier on. It looks like his robes are just a little bit big for him, maybe. Yeah, it looks a little bit big, like he's got Dad's hoodie on, sort of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but very, very cool, very, very cool miniature on the way. That comes in the set and kind of gives you some bonuses and stuff as well, which is really cool. Right, so that's Warhammer 40,000. We might have a little bit more stuff that you can use in 40k later on, but let's have a look at the roadmap for codexes.
Roadmap.
Adeptus Mechanicus.
Pause this. We've got Adeptus Mechanicus, Dark Angel Supplement, Necrons, Orcs, Adeptus God, I can't speak. Custodes, Gene Stealer Cults, Tau, Adeptus Sorai, Sisters of Battle, Space Marines. All right. And then Redacted, whatever that is. Hopefully that's not a new edition. Maybe it's Dark Eldar, Aliens, maybe the Space Dwarves. But so winter, we've got these guys here. Come spring, we've got Dark Angels, Orcs, and then later in the spring, we've got Custodes, Tau, Chaos, then Gene Stealers, Sisters of Battle, and whatever that's going to be.
And Necrons are on their way really, really soon, like really, really soon. So if you're fans of those armies, then you're in for a good few weeks. Then we know that we've got Dark Angels on the way, no surprise there. A Codex supplement to add on to Codex Space Marines and Orcs and Adeptus Custodes and Tau Empire and Codex Chaos Space Marines all coming in spring 24. It's an absolutely bumper crop of
I can hear the wall starting to build right now.
Yeah, I mean, it always comes. This is never too far away. But we can announce today that the next 2 codexes following those releases in summer 2024 will be Gene Stealer Cults and Adeptus Sororitas. 2 very cool, very interesting armies. And I think one thing that's worth calling out on that spread of codexes, that's a really broad spread in terms of there's a little bit of Chaos in there, there's lots of Xenos, there's lots of Imperial, really nice mix of factions coming into Warhammer.
That's a lot sooner than we think, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's going to add a lot of game.
And all of that is coming within the next kind of 6 to 7 months. So there's absolute smorgasbord of codexes on the way.
My favorite army, Redacted. Nice.
Who knows? And
Who knows what's
super
coming?
secret codex as well.
Cannot wait. But that's awesome. Like, players get excited because we've seen all the breath of life that the codexes are injecting into what's happening, expanding on the indexes, giving you lots of cool things to do with your miniatures.
Yeah. And I think I'm right in saying that I think most of those come with at least some new models, and some of those codexes come with a lot of new models.
Ooh,
so there's some cool
that makes me happy. New models always make me happy.
Cool stuff on the way.
Wow, cannot
cool
wait.
Stuff on the way.
I'm hyped.
I know you are, but you do live in a permanent state of hype, though. Paul.
Pretty much. Well, look, if it's Warhammer, I'm excited.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's Warhammer 40,000. We do have a little bit more for 40k later on in this preview, but let's jump to another system now and have a look at some other cool new things on their way for one of our other games.
All right, before we do that, I'm going to be ending this VOD for the people over on YouTube. But by the by, I hope you enjoyed the Dark Angel stuff. Hopefully, the stream wasn't too cursed or too messed up. And I will see you people over on YouTube later. By the by, for this next part.